Yo, this is Kayam, and it's a 416 interview.
Grew up in Calgary. Talk to me about your upbringing and like what kind of had you start creating music.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, I think Calgary is it's definitely a smaller city than Toronto, so it was interesting because I was able to grow with a few group of like really close friends to me. Like even my DJ today, my drummer today, like my drummer's my cousin from Calgary first of all, and my DJ I like did my first show with him when I was like 17, 18. So I've really just grown up with these people. Even my videographer, photographer, like these are people that I've like really just been able to develop with, and I think that's like so important, even from like a not only a team standpoint, but even just like a chemistry and like friendship standpoint, to just be able to like see that growth in each other, but then also just as a team. And I think that's the biggest thing that I really liked about Calgary, is it enabled me to see that type of growth. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure. And then you recently graduated with a double degree while building your music career.
Yeah.
How did you kind of balance like academics and like music?
Yeah, I mean, it was hard. I can't lie. To be honest, I think I've always been I've tried to be I feel like I've always been a motivated person.
Mm-hmm.
And so it was really just like time management was very hard sometimes. Like I'm not gonna lie to you for the interview and say it was easy, because I definitely had to like figure out, you know, like okay, like this week I'm gonna go to the studio, bang out like 10 songs, and like okay, like this week I really gotta lock in because I have like finals or midterms or whatever. So it was kind of like leading a double life in a sense. And there were times where I was in class, and then I like caught a flight one time. I had to go to New York for a show, come back to Calgary on Monday type thing. So there was always like a balancing act going on, whether it was like in the city or just jumping around, like traveling for it. And even like the last year of my degree, I was going to LA like a lot, just for like music stuff. Some of my team was out there at the time, so we were just literally catching a flight to LA or Toronto like every weekend, which is. It was crazy. It was cool, but it was definitely overwhelming at times. But I feel like it helped me figure out how to manage stuff. And
well, what was your double degree in?
I did political science and business.
Damn, so it had like no correlation to your music.
Yeah, I will say, like, I feel like for business, it gave me like a better understanding of like marketing and you know, just the back end like contract stuff and I guess the stuff that artists don't normally take care of. Yeah. I've always been very hands-on, so I feel like I wear a lot of different hats, and doing that degree kind of helped me wear those hats better, if that makes sense. No, so yeah, it's definitely an interesting like side of me that I don't think a lot of people know about. So like it's cool that you mentioned it. Yeah, it was dope.
Yeah. Moving on, I want to talk to more about your actual music career.
Sure, yeah, go ahead.
Your creative process, bro. How do you create a song? Are you like a freestyler? Do you like to write down? What's that looking like?
I think the earliest, I want to say like I feel like the earliest inspiration I had in terms of like songwriting and song creation was probably like the way Tory Lanez in the studio, like he used to fucking he used to live stream and literally like record himself just freestyling in the booth to like anything really. Like his producer put on a beat and he just freestyled, and I think that's kind of how I always approached it, because I think melody is so important, and I think for me like a lot of my songs are like they lean heavily on the melody, and I think that is reflected in when I do studio sessions. I'm really just going in the booth, like saying like random words, like whatever comes to my mind, but I'm really just focused on creating something that's like catchy and memorable, and then the words kind of come later, and it's just all about like the feeling first, and then I kind of fill in the specifics later, because it's at the end of the day, like I feel like music is just about conveying an emotion, and I think that's how my process is as well.
Damn, okay, that's interesting.
Yeah.
So what would you say is like what's like the fastest like time it's taking you to create a song that actually came out?
Ooh. That's a tough one, because I feel like there's always like a period of time where I like write the full song and then I'll like go back and tweak it sometimes, or like so I guess in terms of the initial stage, like literally like 30 minutes. I feel like I'm trying to think of the song. Like I made Señorita in like 30 minutes, the original version of it, and then I kind of like went back. I talked about it with a few people on my team, and we kind of just like ended up editing it. I actually ended up flying out to LA to change some things, but essentially the backbone of the song was made in like 30 minutes. And I normally come up with like the chorus first, and like that stuff takes. I feel like my best choruses, the ones that have done the best, are the ones that literally take like the least time to create, because it's so like it's almost like an intrinsic thing. It just like comes out if it's like the right feeling and the right like melody.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
Sure. And then going deep into your music, you said in the past that you aim to create music that's like timeless and playable for anyone.
Yeah.
Even calling it like unifying.
Yeah.
How does that vision shape your approach when you're writing new songs like Therapy?
Yeah, I mean, in terms of the timeless aspect of it, I think it's really just about not allowing my music to get like pigeonholed into like not only like a certain niche or audience, but like allowing it to remain general, and like, you know, kids can listen to it, but also like, you know, fucking someone who's in the club can also bump it too. So it's hard finding that balance, and some songs definitely lean one way or another. But I really think timeless songs are just that, like songs that will always be able to be listened to because they're just so universal in nature, and they just tap into that like feeling at the end of the day. And yeah, I think therapy is like, definitely, I think therapy leans more into like a darker side of myself that I wanted to just embrace a little bit more. But I also feel like the beat and the way the production came together allows it to be enjoyable to like a wide audience. And I think so far the song has been received very well. So I think so far so good.
All right.
Yeah.
And, you know, speaking on this little tour that you're on right now, you know, we're right in the back of Deep Drake Underground right now, and you previously did it in London.
Yeah.
You know, how was that kind of, you know, experience, you know, headlining your first show in London, especially since it's abroad and, you know, you don't see too many artists, you know, filling out a venue across the sea.
Yeah. So I think coming from Calgary, like even just being like in Canada, like a small city, I think London is something that's like seems so far away. Yeah. So going there was really crazy. Last year, actually, I don't know if a lot of people in my audience would know this, but I was actually on tour with Jay Sean in London, Birmingham, Glasgow, some stops in the UK. We did a tour, and it was a really cool look. I feel like it was really fun and enabled me to grow as an artist, but also just as someone who's being mentored by Jay, who's like a legend in honestly 2000s music. Yeah. So it was really cool to be able to have that experience, and it gave me the inspiration to go back and do my own headline show and just see what happened. And it was a huge success. It was so fun, and everyone that came out was, I could tell that they were, you know, they were so happy that I was in their city. And I think that's a feeling that really reminds you as an artist, like why you make music. I was just telling someone earlier that like, it's so easy to lose track of it sometimes when you're making music behind a screen, you're posting behind a screen, you're making content behind a screen. Like you don't actually see the fulfillment sometimes. And I think performing for me is that fulfillment. So the London show was really eye-opening for me. And yeah, fingers crossed this one is too.
Yeah, for sure. And then you also have mentioned that promoting your music on social media, like when you released Bonita, taught you a lot about adaptability. How have like platforms like TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, and streaming service helped you like connect and grow your audience?
I think that streaming platforms have been really great. They've allowed me to, and even like, you know, social media, like you're saying, TikTok has really allowed me to broaden my audience. I think a lot of my music that really ended up taking off for the past year was literally because of TikTok or like Reels. So it's crazy the power of social media where like you're able to reach people from so many different parts of the world. Like for example, like even just going back to Therapy, like that song ended up getting a lot of traction. It was charting in like Peru and Latin American countries. So
how's that feel?
It was really cool. Like it was really different because I've never really like been in that market before. Some of my other songs are have traction elsewhere. So it's cool to just see, you know, the power of social media and its ability to make your music reach so many different people in different parts of the world. Yeah.
Any memorable moments you got with like fans and stuff like that on social media or anything like that?
Memorable moments. I feel like like so many. Like even when I'm giving the mic to someone and they're just singing it word for word, or when I like kind of like lock in with a fan and they're like really just they're like locked in with me. I feel like those moments are so cool because like that song was connected with like so many memories for that person, and then for them to also be singing it with the artist is so surreal. Not only for them but also for me, like just as an artist to know that as well. So I feel like all of those moments are super memorable.
Right.
Yeah.
And then you know, you've talked about Tory Lanez as being your biggest inspiration because he's so versatile.
Exactly. Yeah.
Like any other artists or that kind of influenced you as well? Or?
There's so many. I feel like they're always changing, to be honest. I listen to a lot of like Afrobeats music too. Growing up, like my parents are from East Africa, and my grandparents too. So that was like big part of I guess my identity in terms of like the food and the culture. So the music, I was always like really into Afrobeats, but like lately I've been listening to like Burna Boy, Ira Star. Like there's so many of those Afrobeats artists that I really like, but also just like the R&B artists that have also shaped my sound. So I feel like my sound is a bit of a mix of both.
All right, bet.
Yeah.
And then you know, looking ahead, where do you see yourself in 5 years?
Selling out arenas, man.
What can fans expect from you? Any new songs, singles, EP, sorry?
Fans can expect, I'm actually doing a show in Calgary. It was a surprise announcement. I announced it right after, or I'm planning to announce this right after my show here. It's with a good friend of mine, Ethan Lowe. It's a co-headline in Calgary, and it's going to be it's going to be September 28th. So it'll be fun. I'm doing that, and then our song together, I have a song with Ethan Lowe that's coming out that same week. So that song, and then I have a bunch more singles at the end of the year, and then hopefully a project next year.
How hyped are you for that? Because that's technically what?
Hometown show. It's been, I haven't done a Calgary show in a really long time, so it'll be really cool to get back out there, feel the energy there as well. I know a lot of people have been rooting for me as I do like these different things from there, so it'll be nice to go in and really just connect with them in person again. Yeah, exactly, it'd be good.
Only your body makes me feel alive. You'll be my